What's up, my fellow Las Vegas VIPs? The time has finally arrived. Support for the Guest List podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. Wait for it. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code TheGuestList at manscaped.com. Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized trimmer that makes shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom. I, for one, am one of the first people to try the new 4.0, and I'm blown away by the performance. The craftsmanship and details on the 4.0 are next level. Guys, I literally just got out of the shower after trying this 4.0 lawnmower for the first time, and I have to say this is a complete different experience from when I was a young college frat boy running around using a traditional razor to shave my family jewels. I can tell you, for one, it does not give a young man filled with testosterone a lot of confidence when you have a cut-up man region and you know when you find a significant other for the night, a flick of the light can end your night in embarrassment. I have all of the confidence now knowing that Vegas is about to open up and I have a perfected, trimmed Manscaped area. Manscaped engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and an incredible, comfortable grooming experience. Their 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. I now feel confident shaving my boys. This upgraded trimmer includes a multi-function on and off switch that can engage a travel lock. It also gives you the ability to turn on the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim through additional guard lengths with sizes 1 through 4. Did I mention wireless charging? The new wireless charging station uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last longer. Men, if you've been shaving with the same nut trimmer on your face, you've been doing it wrong. No person wants to end up with pubes in their mouth. It's time to get your own ball hair and body trimmer with Manscaped to make me time the best time and enhance your confidence with some nice, smooth boys. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code TheGuestList at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code TheGuestList at manscaped.com. That's right, 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code TheGuestList. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Thank you guys for your support, and now I know that you're ready to hear the show, so get on in there and enjoy the ride. What's up, Vegas? We're here today with another Vegas native. Mark that as like number 22 for the show out of about 120. I always have to give special congrats or emphasis on all the Vegas natives because we are a rare breed. I'm here with Hannah Easley. She is the founder and owner of Vanity Beauty Boutique. They offer many essential services, including body sculpting, teeth whitening, facials, dermaplaning, chemical peels. There's a lot of other stuff. And the shop is located at 9330 West Sahara Avenue up near Summerlin. Hannah, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Also, thank you for the amazing tour. I got to go up to the store, so thank you for that. And the teeth whitening. It was something that was definitely needed. And as we were kind of talking before, it gives you a little bit of like a confidence boost as well.
Your teeth look Hollywood bright. I love them.
Let's go. Yeah, definitely need it. One thing's for certain, I'm a black coffee drinker, so I feel like teeth whitening is something that has to be like a regular thing, but just regular brushing, I guess, helps prevent that.
I'll see you in a couple of months then.
Yeah, gladly. Also, we'll just start off with it. The zero gravity massage chair. I've never experienced anything like this anywhere else.
It's a little piece of heaven, right?
Yeah. Where did you get this from?
I saw one or experienced one years ago. And so when I was opening this place, I was like, I need to find one. And I mean, it has not disappointed. especially guys. Like guys leave and their eyes are like rolled in the back of their head.
It's perfect. It's kind of like a general massage chair, but it tilts backwards.
Yeah. So it puts you in zero gravity to where there's no tension on like your lower back, your circulatory system. It's just a different position that you can't put yourself in. And then it's full body. You know, you put your arms in, your legs. It has like those air compressors that go full body. And I think sometimes it's better than like a traditional massage.
I mean, it was definitely hitting some tight spots. I liked the calf pressure, but also that you kind of like get to lock your arms in. So you're just like completely locked and loaded.
It's hitting everything the whole time. So, you know, a traditional massage, you're getting like little pieces for a couple minutes. This is 30 minutes the whole time, everywhere.
30 minutes of heaven. I do like the ambience of the store because you walk in, it's a boutique, so you have it kind of emphasized in the name. It's very petite and small, but the way that you presented it, and you also have the little Instagrammable area as well.
Oh, our green wall?
Yeah, you're thinking ahead. I think every store, every house in the future is going to have some sort of content area where you need to take pictures because it's just becoming so ingrained into our reality in our lives.
I love that wall so much. And a lot of people, when they come in, they don't even realize that it's real. The plants around.
The shrubbery?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice upkeep. So I know you just opened the store recently, 2021.
January 2nd, 2021.
Dang, starting off with a bang. But I know you've been practicing this profession for such a long time. So let's just build some context for the listeners. Give us, you know, a 2-3 minute description of who Hannah Easley is, growing up in Vegas, and how you got into your profession.
Yeah. So I was actually in school originally for echocardiography. So
what is that?
That's ultrasounds of the heart. So I was going to school, doing my thing. I was doing it part-time because I was working, and I was doing a lot of like convention and booth modeling, promo stuff. And the engineer that creates the body sculpting machine we use ended up being one of my clients. And when I was working that convention, I was like, this is insane. Like, that was before body sculpting was a huge thing, and Vegas needed it. I was like, I can start a business out of this. And so I just wanted to try it out and see what happened. So I like dropped out of school. I was 22. I was like, let's just start this business, see what happens. And it was something I believed in. And the more I got into it and learned how it was working, and I started really diving into like health and wellness and how can I help my clients outside of treatments. And then that led me down the rabbit hole of like holistic health and wellness. And it honestly, Jake, it just snowballed from there. And I had this dream of creating like a beauty boutique where I could offer services that are not only, you know, healthy and work and effective, but they're safe. And that's not something that we're putting like toxins and chemicals into people to where that's what they need to look beautiful. Like, we're able to really do it in a natural way so that they can keep coming back and they can keep feeling good about it and not have to worry about what the consequences are later. So it was so weird. It was like in the middle of the pandemic, and it was a goal and a passion of mine for so long that I had such a bigger vision. Like, I really wanted to have something that was really be able to have like community events and weekly classes, like somewhere I can like really embrace the community and teach them about like holistic wellness and all of that. And so, you know, what I had was just so much bigger than what I could even fathom right now. And this opportunity just kind of like hit me in the face in the middle of the pandemic. And it was something that was like, well, I can't not do this right now. It's different than what I was thinking. But at the same point, it's everything that I want and need and love. And I don't even know how I did it. It was just like this, there's no bars here. Like, we just need to go for it and see what happens. And so it's this cute little boutique, and every day I walk in, I fall in love with it more. It's so loving there. Everybody that works there is family, and everything we have, like, I believe in, and I couldn't be happier right now with it. It's so cool.
Yeah, when you find your true calling, there's this like sense that comes over you. When I started the podcast, I also started it during the pandemic. To me, it felt like there was like this do or die moment where in my mind, I was like, if I'm going to do this, I have to do this now. Like, it's kind of like a now or never moment, but it's never felt like work at all throughout the entire journey. And maybe you feel the same as well, because when you find something that is fun to you, but seems like hard work to others, then you know that's where you fit into society, because it's just like, it never feels like work. When you work a dead-end job, or even when you're working on the industry, many people don't enjoy that job. I mean, you enjoy, yes, making a lot of money, but being employed by somebody else and serving others and having to deal with guests or whatever profession it is, it's just not something that you enjoy as much as being your own boss and finding kind of your niche in society. Yeah,
I can't work for somebody else. Like, I've learned that, and openness, I'm not going to say it hasn't been work, because it's, there's stressful times, and there's times too that I felt, who am I to do this? And, am I going to be enough to like run the business that I'm seeing like this vision for? Because what I really want is something that's going to help people and really provide something that, like, we're not just providing a service, but we're there serving people, we're there educating people. Like, we're a place that's like embracing and what it is to have holistic health meet, beauty and wellness, and like what we all want is like to look good and feel good and really be good, and really educating on what that means. And I don't know, like I said, there's a lot of times that's like, am I even good enough to be able to provide that for people? And like, as the ball keeps just rolling and just pushing through, it's like, okay, yeah, I have not only the passion, but like, I'm always learning. I'm always like educating myself on how we can educate others and be better. And so I feel like that's something that entrepreneurs and just people that are wanting to start a business struggle with, and I don't know, if you just don't like just do it and move forward, you're not going to know if you were able to. Like, I remember not really putting forth the effort of just like, do or don't with this passion of mine. And I was working gigs still until just, recently, a couple of years ago, just to pay my bills at Vanity, like my original office, when we were just doing body sculpting. But it's because I didn't dive in. I didn't like believe, that I can have this business and that's all I needed. I've always had that mindset of I need to work something else to be able to pay for my business, because I saw a long-term future for it and I wasn't ready to give up on it. And I had people kind of say like, well, are you sure? Like, with what you're doing and trying to juggle, like, is this something that you should call a failure and just kind of move on and find something else? And I was like, no, I'm not ready for that. Like, we're going to figure this out. It's going somewhere. But until you really say, I'm jumping all in. This is mine. And, we do or don't. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah. If there's an opportunity to double down on yourself, always take it.
Yeah.
What's the worst that's going to happen if you have this this opportunity just staring at you to really live this life that you've always wanted, or at least some degree of it? And let's say you take the opportunity and you fail. What's the worst that happens? You're just like negative some dollars, but then you have all of these lessons and experiences to then pick yourself back up and build continually. We put these like fictitious walls in front of us that, like, imposter syndrome, which you were speaking on before. Everybody feels imposter syndrome. Shit, even some of the world's most famous people and most successful entrepreneurs and business people still feel imposter syndrome at the top, because at the end of the day, it's like how we view ourselves is oftentimes different than how others view us. So, but if you just go about whatever you want to do. And you kind of have to just go through the motions and understand the things that come along with whatever you are doing. You oftentimes find out that these fictitious walls that we put up were not walls at all. It was just like a picket fence that you could literally just step over, and you wonder why it was ever there.
Yeah. One of the things that hit me like a ton of bricks and like really got me to do this, a friend of mine, Lauren, she came in and she was doing body sculpting. She loved the service. We were talking, and, you know, I expressed some of my dreams and visions, and she just was one of those people that just gave it to me straight. And she was like, this is awesome. I love this service. I love coming in here and the results I get. But you do know that you didn't create a business, right? And I was confused at first. She was like, you don't have a business right now. This is great. I love your office, but you just created a job for yourself. You're here all the time. You're not here. You're not growing anything. You're here just providing a service, which is great. And it's a great service, but this isn't going anywhere. This isn't a business. This is your job.
It's true.
I was like, what? I don't know. It just literally, it blew my mind. And she gave me this book to read, and I don't even know. I was like, okay, everything I thought like what an entrepreneur was is like totally not it. And if I really want to take a step, like, we got to do it.
Yeah, the simple definition of an entrepreneur is just somebody who wants to provide value to society in some way. And that's exactly what you're doing, right? Instead of just providing services where you're providing value to one person, when you open up a shop, now you're providing value to hundreds or thousands of people in multiple ways, because you also expanded past body sculpting.
Yeah. And well, it's so cool to see too, like people come in and really love, you know, the vision that we created and we're able to like hone in on, and the environment. And when people walk in, it feels good. It feels good. We have, you know, that good energy going. Like I said, everybody there is family. We have like our live plants that I feel like gives like a different energy to the whole vibe of the place. And then, you know, it's only been like 3 months, but like people are coming back. So it's really cool to see.
Over these last three months, how has the transition been from an active practicer of providing services to an owner who now has to oversee many different facets of a business?
Yeah, it's a change for sure, because I didn't have employees before. It was just me. And one of the things that's difficult is, you know, growing the business I had for so long, I created like a standard operating procedure that I just had created myself. It wasn't written out. It wasn't something that, you know, this is how things are done. It was just how I, over, you know, 8 years of doing it, realized this is what clients need. This is how people like to receive information. I love to give more information that maybe they won't retain everything, but like I want you to know that we know what we're doing. And so I created just I don't know, just this huge list of things that I then had to like sort and write out and now, you know, relay that information to somebody else to be like, okay, now I need you to replicate this whole mess of stuff that I never documented over 8 years. Like, okay, now replicate this and you do it just as well as I did. And so that's kind of hard because of just having those expectations of like, okay, I perfected this to where I thought was good. So now I need you to do it. And now training even more people. We're training 2 new people right now that it's like, okay, now let's do it again. And, you know, we're not corporate. We're small. It's a boutique. And so I've never had to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, you're the one setting the rules now. You're setting the guidelines and the procedures.
Yeah, and sometimes it's weird. And then again, everybody too there is really close to me. Friends and family that have like been in my life like almost my whole life, if not, you know, more than half my life. And so there's like a balance of, okay, I'm the boss, but we're still, you know, there, I don't want to cross any lines like outside of work to where it's like, you know, oh, I need you to, and everybody's been, because everybody's on the same page. We just want to make it work and grow and love on our people that are coming in. But I know for me, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, don't say anything that's too messed up or like try to expect too much. But it's been a weird balancing act for sure.
It is important to have your first hires as familiar faces, whether it's family or close friends or close colleagues that you've worked with for a long time. Because when you're opening up a business, it is very chaotic, like you mentioned. When I opened up the antique store, I didn't know what I was doing. That was my first business, and I had family that worked there with me. And if I had hired people that I hadn't known, I would have felt like I would have felt like my imposter syndrome would have kind of blown up a little bit higher, because those random faces, well, I guess those new faces would see me as somebody who's not a complete business owner.
Right, because they're looking up to you for
advice, for guidance.
Yeah. And so whenever they're your friends and family, like they already know, like, all right, we're all.
But managing them as somebody who's known you, it's like there does come a point that when you have to be managerial and kind of delegate different tasks to them, but you don't want to overstep because, you know, their family, you know, they've seen you at your low points, you've seen them at their low points. So it is a little bit of a balancing act. But then these new people that you're hiring, were you familiar with them beforehand?
One of them is my cousin. And so there's only one person there that I haven't had in my life for forever.
So this is like the first real big task.
Yeah.
To kind of, and this kind of speaks to like the culture that you're building, right? Because when you bring in, again, familiar faces, you have this culture that everyone's familiar with each other, but now you're bringing in this outsider and you see how they fit into it. Are they going to be able to understand the way that you guys work? Do they see the vision? Are they going to be organized and complete? So that's like the big real first test.
Yeah. And you know, you go off of, obviously there's resumes and all of that, but whenever I meet people or decide something, like I feel like there's certain things that you're just drawn to. And I feel like a lot of times I try to like let myself be a little bit open to see like what the universe is going to bring to me. And I try not to question it too much so that I could just be like, this feels right. Like let's not double and triple and, you know, question it. Like, let's just go for it and see what happens.
Yeah. Everyone has their own leadership style, right? To me, I think traditional resumes are an antiquated model, just like the 40-hour work week's an antiquated model, because you don't need college degrees pretty much to do anything, right? So if a lot of these different old style traditions are kind of fractured, it's like you have to find different ways. To me, if I was going to hire somebody, then I just want to see their willingness to learn. To me, one of the biggest traits that I look for in somebody is curiosity. Yeah. Are you willing to learn on your own? Are you willing to speak up because you don't understand, instead of just like, you don't want to surrender yourself with yes people, right? Somebody who just agrees with you consistently just to make you happy. Yeah. So you do have to kind of be aware of these different styles.
Well, and we have, you know, such a different model when it comes to, you know, the estheticians that I'm hiring, and that we are holistic and we are plant-based and leaning towards being all natural. And that's not something like you can just bring in somebody that doesn't agree with that. Like, you can't fake it. It's either you're on board with how we all are feeling about this and like the direction we're moving forward with, or you're not. Like, if you're not on board with some woo-woo stuff, then you're not going to be a fit, you know?
So is like holistic and this plant-based model different from what your industry has traditionally practiced?
Well, I mean, in general, you know, there's, when you think of beauty, I feel like a lot of people think about, yeah, like what procedure do I need to get done to me? And even with the body sculpting, a lot of body sculpting out there, they're like bursting or freezing fat cells. They're doing things that aren't things your body would naturally do. It's working against your body. It's, you know, introducing foreign things. Our body sculpting, it's using microcurrents that your body already knows how to use. And we're able to shrink your fat cells and detox those cells and not do anything harmful, because we want to do some stuff that is going to be healthy long term. So even just the body sculpting, when it starts, you know, which was my baby that we started with, like looking at all the different body sculpting procedures out there, like, yeah, they're harmful. It's not something I ever want to like blast anybody. But like I'm proud that ours is natural, and it's a way that your body can, you know, naturally deal with it. So same with, you know, what you're going to put on your face. Your skin, it's your largest organ. It's like literally toxins are everywhere. Like we're breathing them, we're, you know, what soap you're using, like what you're eating and drinking, like your toxins get built up on a daily basis, and it's bad. It's really bad for us. Like it's not something that, you know, whenever it comes to, you know, helping with acne or whatever, there's definitely natural remedies that we can approach first before just throwing on a bunch of more chemicals. Like,
yeah, the world is really making a push towards natural, what is it, like paraben free and all these different hormones, right? I had Heather Marianne on the show. Her products are all just natural based, literally made from home ingredients in the kitchen.
Yeah, we just, today I just stocked a shelf full of her stuff.
Yeah, so she has a great product.
Yeah.
So it's like the world is pushing this way, and I see it increasing more in beauty products, right? I think this movement began with fresh foods and kind of like the vegetarian and vegan movement, but now it's migrating its way over in full force over to the beauty product and services industry.
Yeah.
Because that seems like the next natural fit.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about it.
So what body sculpting, right? I worked in a nightclub for the last 5 years. I saw a lot of the servers were always going and getting body sculpting because it decreases waist size. Like what is the reasoning to go get something like this?
Yeah, the one we have, it's awesome because it's working so many different parts. Like it's not just working on the fat that's right under your skin. We're able to help build muscle tone, which I feel like especially in the industry, like a lot of that it's important, and other procedures don't do that. So if you're already fit, you know, you might not be super worried about, you know, losing a bunch of fat. So we're able to like really bring that muscle tone out, and it does shrink fat cells. It tightens skin, and when it tightens and lifts that skin, it helps with like cellulite and stretch marks. We're able to lose inches in an hour. And so just like to put in perspective, to lose 1 inch, if you were hardcore working out and eating right, it takes like 4 to 6 weeks to lose 1 inch. So if we can lose that or anywhere close to that in an hour, at that part, like maintaining is easy. Losing the inches is the hard part. So if you can just maintain in between treatments, like we are able to really push you forward towards your goal much quicker than what you could do on your own.
So would you say it's better to use that supplementally to
100%.
working out and not just body sculpting itself?
Yeah. I always tell people it's supplemental because I've had clients that unfortunately they went and got like lipo done, and then the mindset was, oh, it's gone. Now I can eat, do whatever I want, and they gained everything back plus 10 pounds. And when you do that and you get rid of a fat cell and it comes back, you gain weight, it doesn't come back in the same spot. It redistributes unevenly and not cute in other places. And then they're trying to fix it, you know? And so, yeah, I always, my consultations are a lot on also what's your mindset and where are you at on your health and wellness journey, because we can help lose those inches, but if you're not going to help maintain it in between, you know, it's impossible to move forward. So I try to like really see where people are at and what have they started doing, and then what are they doing to help from the inside out. So are you taking probiotics? Are you taking, you know, vitamins to help heal your body every day? Like, these are things that are important for long-term results, because especially, you know, losing weight and all of that, it's something that you have to attack from multiple angles. So, you know, it takes working out, it takes eating right, it takes sometimes, you know, our help with those stubborn areas. And then again, on a cellular level, on your gut level, which is your second brain, it's controlling like a lot of your hormones. It's controlling your serotonin levels. It makes you happy. And then that in turn creates what's making your sleep hormones. And like, if all these things are out of balance, your body doesn't care about what weight you're holding on to if it's not able to really check off all these priorities that, you know, on a daily your body has to do. So if you can help regulate it, then
they are discovering more things about the stomach. I know that they've discovered that there's a lot of different neurons within the stomach and a lot of different pathways that lead to the brain. So it literally is like almost your second brain.
It literally is your second brain. 80% of your immune system is in your gut.
That's wild.
95% of your serotonin. So
I did not know that.
People who are depressed, a lot of times it's from your gut. Skin issues, gut.
Interesting. So I know you began with body sculpting, and I was browsing through your website, and I saw on there that you had one of the cast members from 90 Day Fiancé, Larissa Lima, I believe her name is.
Yeah.
How did that come about, and how did that help your branding from that experience?
Yeah, that was awesome. It was just something cool that just came about because she was hanging out with my friend, and we had a pool day, and it ended up where we became friends. I was on the show a little bit, and you know, from there she was in the middle of this huge makeover from this terrible divorce. I don't know if you see the show at all, but it was bad, and so she was just trying to like feel good about herself, and ended up doing like a lot of plastic surgery and stuff to just really get to where she was feeling like who she was on the inside. And it was cool because we were talking about what I do, and obviously she was interested in what body sculpting was. So she came in for a treatment and ended up being filmed too. And honestly, when I met her, I had no idea like how big 90 Day Fiancé was. So it's really cool. I still get messages, you know, that come in. I don't know if reruns are playing right now because we're starting to get them again. But yeah, people just see it, and it's funny the way I don't know if you saw the episode or not, but the way they cut it a little bit.
And I only saw the piece the 4-minute clip that you had on your website.
It looks like she's orgasming.
It did. She was like, oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was kind of cool to, just have something that's funny, but then also, you know, something that's getting our brand out there too. And it was awesome.
That is, it's funny how Vegas works. I know this isn't just Vegas pertinent, but you could be hanging out with somebody who's just like mad famous, and you just like, they just act like a normal person. Just, they don't bring it up once. And then some other people you're around that just, you know, have maybe a few hundred followers, and they just want to proclaim that they're the most successful and positive person in the world. It's interesting to see how that is.
Yeah. I mean, if you really got it all going for you, I don't think you need to let the world know about it.
It's true. So has she come back to store since?
Well, right now she's in Colorado, so I haven't seen her for a little bit, but I think she's getting married again.
Congrats to her. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to have those opportunities. We were kind of discussing that a little bit as well beforehand, but body sculpting obviously started with it. It's your key focal piece. I went in for teeth whitening, and I have in this little brochure that you gave me, there's like a handful of other things in here. So why did you decide to expand outwards of body sculpting, which you'd been practicing for some years, and then start some other different things within the store?
Well, things like our infrared sauna, there's so many health benefits for an infrared sauna. You know, on top of anti-aging and beauty, like there's people that come in that it's their only solace for like pain or like autoimmune diseases, that it's just, there's nothing else that's helping. And so I love that. I mean, it burns like 400 to 600 calories. It helps with your cell turnover. So it helps with like anti-aging, skin rejuvenation, all of that. But man, it makes me feel so good whenever I have something that can like really provide value and help somebody on more than just, you know, looking good. And that in itself is such a cool complement to like a lot of our other services. So if you do it before the zero gravity massage, like it's going to go in and help with the inflammation, help with pain, help to start loosening up those muscles so that when you get into the massage chair, it's deeper and like it just feels from, you know, super awesome and amazing to next level. And then if you add that to a facial, then, you know, it's able to open everything up so that all the super awesome plant-based things we're putting on you is able to penetrate deeper and have like an awesome, even just more of an effect. And then again, it burns 400 to 600 calories. So if you do that with the body sculpting, then it's something that, you know, adds value to that. Same with the spray tanning. We do all organic, you know, on brand. It's all organic, natural, it's sugar-based spray tanning. So it has like a nice gradual fade. It goes off of your skin tone. So it gives you like a natural tan that doesn't look orange or streaky or anything like that.
Did you say sugar-based? Mm-hmm. Really? What's the benefits of having a sugar-based spray tan layer?
It's just what the product's like made out of, and it just works better.
Interesting.
That's what I see. Like our clients love it. And then, but if you do the infrared before your spray tan, it'll help penetrate more and last longer too. So it's just a cool complement to all of that. I don't think there's anything else on teeth whitening that it does, but
yeah, teeth whitening was cool. So a lot of these additional services are all just complementary of each other. That was kind of the broader vision that you saw. It's like if somebody's here getting body sculpting, they might as well kind of take a few of these other ones.
Yeah. And honestly, body sculpting is still the main thing that draws people in. And then they come in and they're like, what? There's all this other stuff here. Which, yeah, like I'm really wanting to create something that to add to our family, you know, and really have a base that people just like love coming to, and it feels good for them to be there. So, you know, whether, you know, it's body sculpting or not, there's all these other things that they can come in and be our family with, you know?
So do your customers tend to, I guess, do more than one service when they come in? Is it just like they're coming in doing infrared then leaving, or they come in doing infrared and all of these other additional ones?
Very rarely I'll see somebody come in and just do like an infrared and leave, because I mean, I think there's some FOMO. Like,
I mean, that's how I felt when I went in to get the teeth white. You're like, do you want zero gravity? Do you want to do this infrared thing? I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be here literally all day.
Yeah. And it's cool because it's, you know, it's such a small place. And whenever I was doing the build out, I was a little bit worried about it being too cramped, or us, you know, I was trying to fit too many things into one little spot, and it flows so well and so perfectly, and everything feels like just the right amount of like hominess, and it's good. It all just flows very well together. So I think people feel like what we were trying to put together, you know?
Are there any other competitors like this in Vegas? Is there a ever-growing holistic, I guess call it holistic services industry out in Vegas?
So I would say that like individual services, we have major competitors for. I mean, body sculpting is a huge one. For what we're doing, I don't think I've seen like a real holistic based, a pretty inclusive spa. I haven't seen that anywhere.
So you're bundling up all the services. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the tech world, when competitors come in, they usually either do two things. They either take a bunch of services and bundle it up together, right? That's kind of like what Facebook did with WhatsApp and Instagram and all their other services. They just bundle it in one. Or they take one component and they unbundle it. And then you just do really good at that one specific thing. Mm-hmm. And so it seems like you're kind of going towards like the bundling package, which makes it all inclusive.
We're really good at all of them though.
Yeah. But that's how you hit the home run, is that if you could be successful at all, but then if you're bundling these, you have to build like the culture around it, which is very important. Because if you're only good at just one thing, then the culture that surrounds it necessarily isn't as important as like if I'm going to be there for, 4 hours doing infrared and the zero gravity and I don't know, whichever other service, teeth whitening, like you want to have that ambiance and the employees treat you in like a specific way.
Yeah. We're also like, I'm not done. Like there's still a lot of growth that's going to happen. And, like I was mentioning earlier on really wanting to do like those like community events and building a community around it. It's about also what's important to me is really educating on, what it is to what holistic health is and what it is to go down that path and really teach about like toxins and like why we are going the way we are. And so I'm going to start like monthly events that are teaching on different things, whether it's a detox workshop or a yoga and meditation with essential oils or, just mental health even, and what it means to take hold of that. Like I have all these lined up. That's like really exciting. I have this amazing group of like holistic coaches that I feel so lucky to have access to, that I messaged everybody. I was like, hey, what can we do? How can we help more people? And so I think having a platform to really be able to give access to more people to that kind of information, that I sometimes, I realize that I'm not the expert on every field, but if I can have access to an expert in all those fields and be able to give my clients that value, I'm really excited for.
Right. What's the cliche term? If you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
That's Steve Jobs' famous. I don't know if Steve Jobs quoted that, but he used to always say that he intentionally would hire people smarter than him because you have to learn from them as much as they learn from you.
Yeah.
If you're an owner or a manager, if you're not learning from your employees, then how are you going to know how to govern that, right? Or how to lead them in the right direction based off of all their different.
I'm not there for every single service every single time. And that's something I really try to come, especially being so new, is like, hey, how are you guys feeling about this? Like, what do we need to change? Like, what's next? We're all figuring this out. So like, I need the feedback just as much as I want to give feedback.
But if you are there for every single client that comes in, to greet, then you're nothing more than just like a glorified manager. A lot of the very visionary or very successful leaders are able to pull themselves out of the everyday mechanics of the machine and be able to, get holistic coats, start educational programs, and all of these different, I guess, components to the mission, right? If Jeff Bezos was stuck in the warehouse every day, then Amazon would have been this massive company that it is today.
Yeah. And I'm actually still working on that because I'm there pretty much every day.
It's tough. It's tough. Delegating things away. That was something that I struggled with all of the different entrepreneurial endeavors that I've gone through, and even with the podcast as well, because it's your baby, right? So when you have a baby, I mean, I've never had a baby, so I'm not speaking out of experience, but you just want to hold the baby, you want to nurture it, you want it your specific way, but there comes a time where you have to have a babysitter, or the father comes in, or the grandparent comes in, and they have to take some of that task away from you so that you could go on and do everything else. It's just like a business. It's like your baby. And there comes a time where you have to begin to, unfortunately, take some time away to let it grow in other ways.
I mean, it's interesting you put it in that way, because that's exactly how I've felt with my actual baby. Like, since starting this business, I knew it was going to take more time. And like her first couple years, my daughter's 3, but her first couple years of her life, I pulled back a lot on business and, you know, getting out there, and kind of just did the bare minimum that I could still like just be there to hold her and nurture her and open up all these neurological pathways. I don't know, I was crazy. But now I knew once I started this that I was going to have to get her in school a little bit more and rely on my mom to, you know, watch her in the evenings until I'm off. And that's been crazy too, because juggling 2 babies.
Both in their infancy, I might add as well.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Which is always the hardest part.
Yeah.
As we were talking, we were sitting at the bar before this, and I was mentioning that whenever my friends have babies, I always say, I'll see you guys in 3 years, because that's the toughest part. It's the same with the business. It's right when I started the podcast, I figured I wouldn't get paid for the first 2 years. They always say like a break-even point for most businesses is generally like the 3-year point. Most companies don't turn profitable for 3 years, or at least that's what the investors generally expect. But if you can hit it beforehand, then, you know, by all means, please do it. But
yeah, that's the goal. I'm not hoping for 3 years.
I remember when I had my antique store, the first profitable month we hit was like 4 months into it. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, you know, it feels like an accomplishment, but then obviously it declines, and then you go back, you hit a profitable month again. And it's just like, it's slow progress. In the beginning, it's like, you know, 3 steps forward, and then 3.5 steps backwards, and then 4.5 steps forward, 4 back. I
mean, honestly, right now, I've just, I've been fighting to win just to be able to pay my employees. Like, I'm like, okay, we're good. As long as I can keep my people around and everybody happy, then we're good. That's a win for me right now.
Have you thought about expanding the brand digitally at all into things like YouTube, content creation, telehealth seems to be like a growing trend. Like Kelly Namiro that was on here does like the virtual coaching. Have you thought about anything like that?
No, not yet. I want to get into some coaching, just to be able to help my clients and be able to develop a package that's an all-inclusive, like, okay, you're here, this is your starting point, and like, how can I all-inclusively help you? But I don't know, I feel right now just more drawn to this baby.
The physical environment. And
how can I really have like a one-on-one experience and help the people that are coming in. Yeah,
I mean, your industry, a service-based industry, is literally like takes place in the physical realm, even though a lot of these different industries are kind of either getting automated away or digitized. So there is some opportunity in there. It's just like it takes a little bit of creativity to figure it out. Especially, I know right in the beginning, it's like the world is just attacking you from all these different angles and you don't even know how to operate itself. But it's definitely something that all businesses, and I think just even all individuals moving forward, need to have some sort of like online digital representation, even if it's your individual brand or some digital based service, anything like that. I don't know where that avenue is yet.
No, I agree. I'm just trying to figure out one thing at a time. And even just getting more of a social media presence, like even that alone, like it's difficult. Like
social media is tough.
I had to do all these things, and now I had to, do social media. I don't know. It's just
social media. It becomes like a burden in the beginning, because you have to go and you have to follow people, unfollow, message, get in the boards, find people in your industry, then you have to factor in the algorithm on top of that, and it becomes a burden. But it's like so important.
Yeah.
And once you reach like a certain point, it becomes a positive feedback loop where people stumble upon you and then you get different opportunities.
Yeah,
it's just
my
grinding.
publicist says we need to hit 10,000, and I'm just like, okay, sure, like no problem. Like,
well, you have to think big, right?
Yeah.
They always say that you're thinking too small, and that's pretty much for anything. Like you have to go as large as possible. And are you marketing majorly through Instagram?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, honestly, I've been relying on my publicist for more stuff, so I'm just following her lead.
Publicist coming in clutch.
Yeah.
So
Seriously.
So where, at least for the 3 months that you've had, where are your clients coming from, and how are you attracting new clients into the store?
Well, one of the things that's nice is that I had a business for so long before this, so we already did have a base of customers to roll into when we opened. So we had some monthly memberships that at least we were able to start off with. And then a lot of it has been news and social media.
You've been on the local news?
Yeah. We've had some segments out there on like News 3 and Channel 13 and some really cool articles, and just trying to just get that repetition out there on having people see the Vanity name over and over, so that once they're ready for a facial or body sculpting or whatever it is, that they're coming in. And then a lot of our past clients, and then it's been really awesome too, because I've had a lot of support from like friends and family or people acquaintances I haven't even talked to in a long time, that just see what we're doing on Facebook and see some of those like cool news things, and they're like, oh, this is cool. And so we've been having a lot of people just come support too. So, but again, everybody that comes in loves it. And then I feel like there's already that word of mouth, like that ball is rolling on people who are like, okay, go check this out.
I feel like with holistic, I don't know if this is true, this is just me speculating, but word of mouth is probably the best form of marketing, because when you're in these cubicles, or you're so intimate with the person who's touching your teeth or touching your face, you need to have that trust factor there.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to just go into somebody that's just completely random. So I feel like it's a little bit harder for these kind of businesses to have just walk-ins, unless you just have like a bold person walk in that's like, hey, I don't care, just touch me.
Yeah. We definitely have the plaza we're in has a lot of the same clientele that would be, people that would love our business. There's like power yoga. There's Orange Theory. There's a bunch of places that a lot of moms go to. There's Lala Photography and Kinderland. So there's like all these, moms and people who are health minded that are there. But yeah, we haven't seen quite of like a walk-in turnover yet, but I don't know. I think that's something that you need multiple touches before somebody decides to come in. So hopefully all these people start to be like, okay, what is this place? Let me go check it out.
Yeah, you're also in Summerlin, right? That's Summerlin moms, right? That's like the perfect area.
Dude, mom groups on Facebook have been really awesome too. Everybody's always asking for a recommendation. I'm like, oh, I know a place.
Let me slide in the DMs real quick.
That's been really helpful.
Yeah, so Summerlin's a beautiful area. I did enjoy that. I don't go up to Summerlin that often, but I went into that parking lot or that plaza. I mean, it definitely gives that like new energy kind of vibe. It probably was constructed pretty recently.
Yeah, well, it's Village Square, and I feel like everybody knows it from the movie theater that's there. And I feel like for a long time it was dead. Like it was popping like 10 years ago, and then I don't know what happened, but it was dead. Everything moved out, and I didn't really realize that it was like making such a comeback when I decided to move in there. I just kind of had the opportunity, moved in there. And so as I've been checking everything out, I'm like, dang,
Perfect timing.
Yeah, this place is so cool. I love all the businesses that are there. Like, I'm so happy to be in that.
And you caught it like right at the tail end of this COVID pandemic as well.
Yeah.
Did you have to change your procedures at all because of the guidelines that were issued by the CDC and the health district?
I mean, you know, I feel like same thing that everybody had to do, with just like upping their sanitation and masks. And for a long time there was you couldn't have people waiting. So it was like, if, you can't come like more than 5 minutes before your appointment. If you are doing that, then you have to wait in your car, and nobody's allowed to come with you. And like, there was, stuff like that when we first opened from the pandemic, it was like everyone was so scared. So, there's this like, okay, don't worry, we got all these things going on. But at the end of the day, I think, we're already safe, and we're sanitizing everything, and they're, estheticians and stuff, that's what they're trained to do. I feel like it's a pretty sterile and safe environment anyways, pre-COVID.
Yeah, you'd hope so, right?
So
yeah, well, beauty is the new wave. It seems like, I mean, in Vegas with just this growing influencer economy, the growing model economy on the Strip, there's just more positions now within the city that require some sort of beauty aesthetic component to it. So that's why I see like this industry blowing up even more.
yeah, but I mean, really, it's for everyone. Like, I see people on every path of life. Like, I can't tell you that I have like one niche
Specific demographic.
Yeah, like I see people just starting, health and wellness journeys. I mean, a lot of times I see like a lot of overworked moms that are just like, I don't ever do anything for myself. And, this is going to be my one like little treat. And I don't know. One of my things I really try to push is to tell people that they need to take the time to like fill their own cup, because some of these beauty services, a lot of times people think that they don't need to do it, or it's something that they feel guilty about doing something for them. And it's interesting because the reason I named it Vanity, and it wasn't about what you would traditionally think about vanity. It was more, I want to dare people to have it in them to be a little bit of vain, and to have that time for themselves. And like, it's not a bad word. It's something that it should be good. It should fill your self-worth. It should be something that, you deserve to take some time for yourself. You deserve to do anything it is that you need to take an hour. Like, it's okay. It's not something to feel guilty about. And it's something that you should feel beautiful for and feel happy and like, encouraged to do from others.
I could not have put that any better. Any better. Hannah, I have one final question for you before we get out of here. Same question I ask everybody. What does Las Vegas mean to you?
Home. Like you've mentioned, I was born and raised here. It's one of the things I really love, like to build a community, somewhere that I can build a community for here, because it is my home. But it's so cool. There's so many things about it. It's a place of convenience, whether it's a convenience here in town on, whatever, doing things or going out, but seeing other places too. Like, you want the beach, 4 hours, just drive. You want, to go skiing, go 3 hours to Brian Head. We're also like this hub, so it's so cheap to get anywhere else. Like, I don't know. It's just so cool. Like, it's literally a place of convenience.
It is. We're on the early stages of the adoption curve of Vegas. It's only going to accelerate and grow from here. Where do I send all of the listeners and viewers on YouTube to follow you, learn more about Vanity, etc.?
Yeah, we are really trying to be very active on Instagram. So our Instagram is at Vanity Beauty LV, and our website is vanitybb.com.
Okay, BB. I appreciate that. That'll all be tagged down below. Make sure you give Hannah a follow. Go to Vanity, check everything out. Hannah, thank you for coming on. I got to see you 3 times in the matter of 3 weeks. So this is beautiful. We'll make sure to try to push 4 for 4 and keep going and continuing that trend. So thank you for everything and thank you for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you guys for listening and we'll catch you next time.